You're funny.
All right.
So do this whatever you feel comfortable.
Okay, great. I'll do that later.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, you get new outfits. And,
Yeah.
spa
I got that on film, right?
Yeah. I say, oh,
Thanks.
Well, and because of who she is, she'll do what's comfortable. I don't have to work.
Only what's
I
comfortable.
don't have to work.
All right, so we're going to get started with the new training wheels sequence, okay? This is a great sequence for working the entire body, but I do want to focus on the head and the neck because we're going to start with upper body. So some of these things we're not able to really distinguish out. So when I say we're going to work on the upper body, we'll talk about the upper thoracic spine, C7 joint, head and neck, kind of simultaneously. So we'll probably get through this pretty quickly, but if there's questions, if there's a desire to go deeper into some of the practices, then we'll slow it down. And there's so many, so let's just look at 2A, for example. Make sure that your outline is visible for you. When it's right there in front of you, we're on the second page. So when we talk about the head and neck, we talk about forward folds to release the spine, right? Forward folds, headstand, training wheels, and then hammock. So I'm going to start with training wheels. I'm going to start with training wheels because it's a new sequence, and I'd like to really focus on training wheels as being something that we can easily teach a new person to do to release the neck. Okay, hammock is a really good one, headstand is a good one, forward folds, but training wheels is really, really good. Really awesome. So we're going to come into our sumo squat, right? We know how to get in and out of our swing pretty quickly, right? So 45 degrees with the feet. Yep, nice. I'm going to bring it up one. Yeah.
I'm thinking I should too.
Everybody, test out your swing and get that sorted so that I can jump in here with the new sequence. And then, after sumo squat, come into your Chillaxin pose. So we're all going to meet in Chillaxin when you're ready. Test out the leg loops. Make sure that they're right as well. You'll know pretty quickly if something feels a little off. And it's okay to have the swing. It's okay to have the swing a little higher or a little lower, and then we can always adjust it. So just see what works for you. Just give it a go.
So in general, the knee, besides feeling comfortable to myself, in general, you kind of want them to high for your lower ribs?
Well, at the boobs or lower?
Yeah.
Chest or lower? You can have a play there. You have 4 inches to play with because the daisy chains are adjustable in 4-inch increments. So bring the swing up, but not the leg loops, Raspberry, okay? Bring the leg loops down. That one, that one's okay. Just the other one, bring it down. Okay? So just give that a try. So the leg loops need to be lower than the, so Julia, lower.
Oh, yeah.
Lower than the nub.
Yeah.
The place where the swing attaches to the webbing.
That's a good little. Right here.
At that point or lower.
Okay.
Yeah, just as a guesstimation. Okay? But you have that 4 inches to play with depending on the person. So once we're in our Chillaxin pose, we're going to use our hands clasped behind the back of the head, not just to come into Chillaxin arms, but to start to pull and traction. Right? So pull the neck straight out of the spine and create a little space there. So this, which isn't even on that list, but just coming into Chillaxin pose and tractioning the spine out of the C7 joint so there's a little bit more space in the cervical is so nice, right? Just a little bit of millimeter of space there. Really good. Okay? So, Raspberry, your knees are higher than your breasts if you drop down, right? So you want to bring your swing up but leave your leg loops where they are. Okay? Oh, really? Okay. So what we're going to do, so just hold on for a second. So we're going to reach forward for our knees, okay? Slide up as high as we can, and we're going to pull ourselves up to stand, right? So when we pull ourselves up to stand, reach for the leg loops, not the swing. Reach for the leg loops. That's why we reach for our knees and make sure that we're giving proper instruction for the person to hold on to not the swing but the leg loops, because it's very unstable, as you notice, right? So now when we come to stand, see if you can reach up and bring your swing up one. That way you don't have to come out again. Okay? See if you can reach. If you can, it's no big deal, but that way you don't have to get out again. So in this position, which is called high diver, you guys remember this is called high diver, right? We're going to let our feet be at the front of the mat. Okay? So there's a lot of different ways that we can get into our training wheel position, but I want you to bring the swing up higher than normal, okay? And then go ahead and use your hands clasped behind the back of your head and just pull the crown of the head up to the back corner of the room. So it's not a U shape, so more pulling straight up and back like you're on a diagonal. So most people drop back too far. I want you to stay up and then just help create a little bit of space there. Okay, so sometimes this will be enough for our buddies. I'm calling our clients or our students our buddies because we all work with people differently. Okay, so after we create a little bit of space there, we're going to hold on to the swing and transition to be around the back of the neck. So now I'm on a diagonal, right? If you walk your feet back, there's less weight. If you walk your feet forward, there's more weight. So you can play with how much weight there is in the neck. Hold on the whole time for me, hun. Let's do this step by step. So I'm on a diagonal, right? So if I walk forward, it's more tension. If I walk back, it's less tension. Just play with that for a second. Because some people might not like it, and some people might love it, right? So we're going to get all types. So I like being a little bit closer to the front of the mat myself, and I'm going to stay holding on, and I'm going to gently tuck my chin into my chest. Okay, when I tuck my chin into my chest, I'm using the swing to kind of pull the back of the occipital ridge up towards the sky. Right? So my legs are activated here. I'm pressing in strongly with my legs. You can walk your feet forward, raspberry, and just push your feet. Okay, great. And then from here, I'm going to pull my hands down towards the ground and tuck my chin, lift my chin towards the sky. Okay, so this is the first one. I'm going to tuck in and then round a little bit. Let the back of the neck traction up. And then I'm going to lift the chin and pull. I'm pulling the swing away from me. So nice little gentle tractioning. So we don't normally do this in the AYP because the neck tends to be incredibly sensitive, particularly if there's an injury, where I don't really like to mess with it unless I'm working one-on-one with people. Does that make sense? Doesn't that feel good? You guys loving it? Awesome. Okay, so from there, we're going to go from side to side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look over my left shoulder and pause, and then I'm going to look over my right shoulder and pause. So I'm just going to look from side to side. Pause at the edges. Really simple. All right, after I'm rolling from side to side, loosening up the scalenes. So I like to have my feet at least hip distance so I have a little bit of stability and foundation there. So after I look from side to side, I create a little bit more sway where I'm actually letting the swing traction and pull the front side of the neck. So this in itself, so my chin is neutral, it's not tucked in and it's not lifted towards the sky, it's kind of neutral. And then if I just kind of rock from side to side a little bit, do you guys feel how that's opening up the side of the necks? Yeah, good. I like to pause at the ends, feel what's happening there. Okay, the next one I like to do is I like to tilt my ear towards my shoulder. So left ear, left shoulder, and then with my right hand, I'm going to pull away. Oh my God. So good. All right, come on back to center. So I'm going to tilt right ear, right shoulder, and then pull away with my left. So I'm pulling on a diagonal away from my ear. Does that make sense, everybody? Coming back to neutral. Let's try that one more time. So I need you to pull more, Julia. So what I'm going to do is just tilt my head, not my whole body, just my head. Yeah. So left ear, left shoulder, and then my right hand pulls away. Oh. You guys feel what's happening in there? So good. This works well with the training wheels on. These are the training wheels. These things are on my legs. Without the training wheels, it seems to be a little too intense. So right side, one last time. And now we're going to start back in neutral. Tuck your chin into your chest. Just round in. And then inhale, lift. Look up. Now, if anybody feels, they might feel intensity, but if anybody feels pain or discomfort, then you bring them right out. Okay, so tuck in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, lift. Good. Then one more time, looking from side to side. Very slow. Don't get crazy here, as people will do things too fast instead of too slow in these positions. Let's see if you can rock from side to side. See if you can pause at the edges and go a little bit deeper now. I find that this is incredibly relieving for both the neck and the C7 joint, and just the buildup of tension people carry in their neck. And it's getting into like kind of the multi-dimensional nature of the neck, not just the linear part. So we're adding a little bit of spin there. So the head just naturally turns from side to side from the moment of the swing once we get into a nice rhythm. Beautiful, guys. Let's do the ear to shoulder one more time. Left ear, left shoulder, pull with the right. Release. Right ear, right shoulder, pull to the left. Release. Okay, good. So now we're going to come up. So bring your arms through. Come on back to sit. Oh, just feel like what happened there. Just come on back to Chillaxin for a moment. Sway it out from side to side. Neutralize the spine. The whole time that we're doing our Chillaxin pose with this emphasis on the neck and shoulders, we're pulling straight up and out. So our hands are really working to create that space by lifting the occipital ridge up and out on a diagonal. So I'm using my palms. You guys can get more of a visual. I'm using my palms and I'm kind of pressing and pulling. Okay, more than just sinking back. Yeah, that's it, Julia. Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. So I'm definitely working way more in this pose with the neck than I would. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pause that here, and while we're here, show you how to do a little bit of the YOGASSAGE, just this one portion since we are working on the neck, okay? Pause this.